हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम ऑल ऑफ़ यू इन माय यूट्यूब चैनल रुद्रा स्टडी सर्कल। मेरे यूट्यूब चैनल रुद्रा स्टडी सर्कल में आप लोगों का स्वागत है। आई हैव स्टार्टेड वन न्यू प्लेलिस्ट इन माय यूट्यूब चैनल दैट विल कंटेन द वीडियो रिगार्डिंग few questions which was already asked in CSIR, NET and GATE exam. So today I came with few problems based on vector space. Let us see one by one. The first question is the dimension of the vector space of all antisymmetric matrix of order n each. So first you should know what is the antisymmetric matrix. So that Aij equal to minus Aj. This is your antisymmetric matrix. Okay. So if you add Aij plus Aj equal to 0, and if I equal to j, if you take the diagonal elements, so what we get? We get the 2Ai equal to 0, Ai equal to 0. So for antisymmetric matrix, all the diagonal entries are 0. Fine. Let us see 3 cross 3 matrix. Actually, if you take antisymmetric matrix, so it should be A11, A12, A13 and A21, A22, A23, A31, A32, A33. So this is the matrix we have. Now this A21, we are looking for number of free variable. For whenever you come the dimension, so we have to find the number of free variables. So here A21 is dependent on A12, A31 is dependent of A13, A32 dependent of A23. So if you see, this lower diagonal elements are the free variable, because above diagonal elements are just a mirror image of this with the negative sign. Fine. So in the first row we have 1, in second row we have 2 free variable, in third row we have 3 free variable. So 1 plus 2 plus 3, like that. Okay. So if matrix is order n, so the number of free variable will be summation n. From the first, in the first row we'll get the 1 variable, from the second we get 2 variable, third we get 3 variable, like that. If n cross n means, and the nth row will get the n independent variable. So total number of free variable is summation n in the symmetric matrix. And antisymmetric matrix here, so the diagonal elements are 0, so there is no option in diagonal elements. So what we do, summation n minus n will do, because we have to remove the dependent element. Dependent means this n diagonal elements are not free variable here, because it's always 0. So summation n minus n, so this will be n plus 1 by 2 minus n. So this will be n square minus n by 2. So answer is n square minus n by 2. So here B option is correct. I hope you understood this problem. Next question. The dimension of the vector space of all symmetric matrices of order n cross n with real entries with trace 0. So trace 0 means sum of diagonal elements are 0. So if symmetric matrix, fine. So if symmetric matrix means only this will be independent variable, and this entries are just mirror image of this. So for symmetric matrix we have Aij equal to Aji. So whenever we write the A21, that will be A21 means A12. So if you have 3 cross 3 matrix, so A11, A12, A13, fine. A21, A22, A23, A31, A32, A33. So only these elements are the free variable, because A12 equal to A1, A21 equal to A12, A31 equal to A13, A32 equal to A23. So these are the dependent variable, and so from first row we get the one free variable, from the second row we get the two free variable, from third row we get the three free variable. Like that, if n cross n matrix means we get the summation 1 plus 2 plus 3 dot 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 n, so summation n. So number of free variable in symmetric matrix with order n cross n is summation n. Now here is showing telling that symmetric matrix bit trace 0. Trace 0 means your a11 plus a22 plus a33 equal to 0. Sum of diagonal elements are 0. It means here one variable is dependent because a11 is can be have anything, a22 can we take any variable, but a33 will be nothing but your minus of a11 a minus a22. So here one variable is dependent. If we have the n cross n matrix, so a11 plus a22 plus a equal to 0. So here a11 one variable will be dependent. Okay, so in the symmetric matrix we have summation n free variable, bit trace 0, so trace is giving one dependent variable, so we'll have summation n, and this suppose this is the dependent variable, so summation, so we are looking for dimension means number of free variable, so summation n is the free variable minus 1, so it will be n plus 1 by 2 minus 1. So we'll have now summation n square plus n minus 2n by 2, so which imply n square minus n by 2, n square minus n by 2. So answer is n square, n is, this is summation n minus 1, C answer. The next question, the dimension of vector space of all symmetric matrices of order n cross n with real entries a11 equal to 0 and trace 0. Okay, so symmetric matrix we know summation n, right? This is the number of free variable in the symmetric matrix. So one condition we have a11 equal to 0, it means one dependent variable, okay, and trace 0 will give another a equal to suppose dependent variable. Okay, so here we have two dependent variable, one is the a11 already value is fixed, and bit trace 0 it will give the previous question I told you how it is giving one dependent variable, so there are two dependent variable here. Okay, so we'll have summation n minus 2, so n plus 1 by 2 minus 2. Fine. So we have n square plus n minus 4 by 2. So this is answer, n square plus n minus 4 by 2. So this is the answer. Let V be a three-dimensional vector space over the field F3 z by 3z of three elements. The number of distinct one-dimensional subspace of V. So here we have n equal to 3 dimension vector space, and here the field F3 we have. So for F3 P we have, so P equal to 3. P is nothing but your cardinality of field. So we have the number of distinct k dimensional subspace. The formula we have V equal to P power n minus 1, P power n minus P, P power n minus P power n minus 1 divided by Pk minus 1, Pk minus 2 P, and Pk minus Pk minus 1. Fine. So this is the number of distinct k dimension subspace. So here P is the number of phi, cardinality of phi. So p equal to 3, fine. N equal to also we have 3 and k equal to 1. We have k equal to 1. So we get now, so we get here p n equal to 3 minus 1, and it will go the p power n minus p power n minus 1. So p is power 3 minus p 3 minus 2 p square divided by, here we have p power k minus p power k minus 1. So k equal to 1, so p power 0. So we get only one term here, p power 3 p power k equal to 1 minus 1. So here 27 minus 1 divided by p equal to 3 minus, so 26 by 2 equal to 13. So answer is 13. So this term is going only one term. Okay, so this is your answer. The next question we have, which of the following subset of R4 is a basis of R4? So basis means you should have the number of independent set. Actually we should have the R4 means we should have the 4 independent vectors. Any 4 independent vectors in R4 form the basis. So if you see here B1, so B1 means 1 0 0 0 1 1 0 0 1 1 1 0 1 1 1 1 1. So if you write the row echelon form, let me write row echelon form here. So we'll have the first vector is 1 1 1 1, second vector is 1 1 1 0, third is 1 1 0 0, and fourth is 1 0 0 0. So if you see, this is already in the row echelon form. So this is the independent set. So B1 is independent set, so it form the basis. So if you see the second one, 1 0 0 0 1 2 0 0 1 2 3 0 1 2 3 4. So this is also in the row echelon form. B2 also row echelon. What you see third one, this 1 2 0 0 and 2 1 0 0. So these are, and minus 5 5 0 0. So here out of these three, 2 are dependent variable, because dependent vector, because this 1 2 0 0 and 2 1 0 0, that is we can minus 5 5 0 0. So here B3 is dependent set and B1 and B2 are the independent set. Okay, B1 and B2 are row echelon form, but in that B3, that first element and third element and fourth element are dependent. So here B1 and B2 form the basis but not B3. Fine, this is answer. The next question, which of the following set of function from R to R is a vector space over R? So first S1 is given f is the collection of all the f such that limit x tends to 3 fx equal to 0. S2 is given g, limit x tends to 3 gx equal to 1. S3 is given limit hx exists. So for a vector space, if you take that u and v, two element from the vector space, and alpha beta is the scalar, so if u and v belongs to vector space B, so alpha u plus beta v also should belongs to vector space B. Okay, and apart from this, the zero vector belongs to V. So this is a property of vector space. So first one, if you take that f and g, two element from the S1, okay, then alpha f plus beta gx equal to alpha fx plus beta gx and alpha 0 plus beta 0, so this equal to 0. So if f and g belongs to the S1, so alpha f plus beta g also belongs to f1, because the image of any x is 0. So first one is the vector space. S2 we see is S2, what we have, alpha f plus beta g x equal to alpha fx, plus beta gx. So this is alpha plus beta, because and here it should come 1 actually. If alpha f plus beta g image of x will give 1, so it belongs to S2, but this alpha f plus beta g does not belongs to S2. So when f and g belongs to S2 and alpha f plus beta g does not belongs to S2, so S2 is not a vector space. And third one, if hx limit exists, let us have h1 and h2, both limit exist, so alpha h1 plus beta h2, this also limit exist. Okay, so S3 also the vector space. So only S2 is not a vector space because it is not satisfying the property if u and v belongs to vector space. So alpha u plus beta v also belongs to vector space. So answer is yeah, answer is S2. So answer is S1 and S3 but not S2. C answer. Thank you guys. If you like my video, please like, share and subscribe, and drop your comments how you feel about this video, and let me suggest the topics at which I should make the video. Thank you.